On the summer's morning, July 15th, 1410, a great battle was about to take place between the forces of the Teutonic Order, led by Grandmaster Ulrich von Jungingen, against the Polish-Lithuanian forces, led by their commanders, King Władysław II Jagiełło of Poland and the Grand Duke Vytautas the Great of Lithuania. Two armies meet on the battlefield near the city of Grunwald, modern-day northern Poland. According to various records from different historians, the Teutonic Order fielded an army that was estimated to be around 27,000 soldiers. The Teutonic commander, Ulrich, placed his elite mounted knights, whom were made up of crusaders from many different European countries, on his left flank. These men were veterans of many conflicts and were well armed for battle behind them. Lines on the left flank were crossbowmen, infantry, and heavy cannons on the right flank. Ulrich placed lighter cavalry that were less experienced in battle, reinforced by infantry at the rear. Ulrich and a sizable force of knights oversaw his army from the Teutonic camp further to the rear of the battlefield. The Polish-Lithuanian forces were estimated to have fielded a force of roughly 39,000 soldiers, some of which were made of vassals, allies, and mercenaries. They stationed their armies in a heavily forested area to provide shade from the hot, blistering summer sun, whilst their enemies stood directly out in the exposed grass fields. The Polish forces were stationed on the left flank. Their force was made up primarily of heavy Polish knights with lighter cavalry, and some infantry at the rear. In support, the Lithuanian forces were stationed on the right flank. Their force consisted primarily of light cavalry, including some mercenary Tatar cavalry and Moldavian infantry, and stationed at the center of the Polish-Lithuanian army were mainly Czech mercenary infantry. The battle began once the Teutonic cannons and skirmishers advanced forward. Battle begins on the Lithuanian flank. The cannons fired off some shots on the Polish-Lithuanian lines. Although the cannons were out of range, therefore had no impact on the Lithuanian lines. Although not effective, it prompted the Lithuanian forces to advance forward and give battle, led by Duke Vytautas himself. This was what Grandmaster Ulrich wanted all along, to lure the Polish-Lithuanian forces to him. The Teutonic crossbowmen began firing on the Lithuanian cavalry before they could fire a second barrage of bolts. The Lithuanian cavalry had closed in on them. The momentum was in favor of the Lithuanian cavalry as they charged full force into the Teutonic lines. The initial charge disrupted the Teutonic line, slowly edging them back. The first engagement swung in favor of the Poland-Lithuanian Union. The second line of Lithuanian cavalry advanced forward, looking to capitalize on their army. Greater numbers, with some Czech mercenaries following close, although greater in number. The Lithuanian cavalry struggled to gain any ground against the heavier and more experienced Teutonic knights, and were soon being pushed back after now sending forth their whole force. The Lithuanians were at a standstill with the Teutonics. Meanwhile, the battle begins on the Polish flank. Opposite end, the Polish heavy cavalry began to charge toward the Teutonic right flank, and center with the heavy cavalry engaged the Teutonic reserve infantry, charged forward from the rear to support their mounted counterparts. The fighting continued for hours. It became evident that battle turns in the Teutonics' favor. The light Lithuanian soldiers were no match for the more disciplined and superior Teutonic knights. Their morale soon began to degrade, ultimately leading to a mass retreat on the Lithuanian flank. The Teutonic knights gave pursuit, chasing them from the field of battle with the Lithuanian flank. Having fled the battlefield, Ulrich focused his men to charge the now exposed right side of the Polish left flank. Fortunately for the Polish, the Czech commanders ceased their men from fleeing the battlefield and promptly reorganized the Czechs, sending them to cover the now exposed right flank of the Polish and Czech forces. noticing that the Polish-Czech forces were now fully committed and their lines were stretched thinly. Ulrich gathered his personal guard along with any reserves to attack the exposed rear and finish off the Polish. Ulrich aimed his cavalry towards his left wing, aiming to outflank the Polish-Czech right. A portion of Ulrich's guard broke off and charged directly at the Polish king Władysław, looking to slay the king and put an end to the battle. Promptly, Ulrich's Teutonic knights now fully surrounded and engulfed the Polish right wing. It was now only a matter of time before it collapsed, and the rest of the Polish army soon followed. Lithuanian cavalry returned to the battlefield. Unsuspectingly, a large mass of cavalry appeared out of nowhere, and onto the battlefield it was. The Lithuanian cavalry that had fled hours earlier, with what seemed to be even more reinforcements with all of their forces, now fully engaged and committed. The Teutonics had no counter against this surprise attack back, and were sitting ducks out in the open. The Lithuanians came crashing into Ulrich's men stationed on their left wing, completely surrounding and enveloping their position. Ulrich himself was slain during the battle, causing panic among his ranks. It was not known for sure whether this was a strategic plan executed by the Polish-Lithuanian forces, or battle report and aftermath, whether the Lithuanians had rallied after retreating. Nevertheless, their timing and arrival was executed to perfection, leading to the Polish-Lithuanian forces overcoming the Teutonics and sending them retreating from the battle. No accurate accounts are given for the deaths on either side. All that is known for sure was that thousands perished during the battle, with more casualties sustained on the Teutonic side. After the battle, the Polish-Lithuanian leadership allowed their soldiers to rest before moving to besiege the capital city of the Teutonic Order, Marienburg. However, the castle's defenses were strong enough to fight off the Polish-Lithuanian assault. But many other Teutonic towns and cities surrendered without a fight. A large portion of the Polish-Lithuanian army soon returned back to their homes, which the Teutons used to retake some of the towns. However, the Teutonic Order soon suffered another heavy defeat at Battle of Koronowo a few months later, and the Peace of Thorn was created.